Alright, picking up where we left off in the last episode, we need to find a more permanent place to live. Let's see, we want to grab some stuff and leave some stuff. I'm expecting this to be a pretty long journey, so we can really only take what our inventory can sustain. We do still have our original pick. We're going to keep bringing that with us. What else we got? Sugarcane. We can find that pretty much anywhere, but it is kind of annoying when you first start farming sugarcane, so I like to have a decent little supply to start. Coal. Oak, we've got oak in our inventory, so it makes sense to have those. Sticks, we're gonna need to make tools. Boats, I've never made the new boat with the chest in it. I may try that now. If we're gonna be going on a pretty long journey here, it'd be nice to be able to carry more stuff. Is that all it is? Oh, look at that, that's all it is. That's pretty handy. It's gonna kind of limit us to the ocean travel, but I think that'll be useful still. This was a pretty cool build location, but unfortunately I don't love the area around it. It's all, you can't, I don't know if you can barely see it there, but you got birch forest and you have a dark forest and not very much flat area. I know that I said I wanted some mountainous terrain, but I don't really want to be doing hours and hours of landscaping to get our initial settlement built, so I think we'll sleep for the night and say goodbye to our initial hole in the ground and just leave it here as a memory to episode 1. Hopefully nothing spawned while I was too busy yapping there. Looks like we're good. No creepers are gonna jump down on my head. And so we will set forth and explore a little bit more. I don't wanna rush this, like I said. I wanna find the perfect spot, and that's probably impossible, but... Oh, actually, you know what? I don't have any more wool, so... just gonna snag that. But it's a pretty nice shelter if anyone else, shows up. Oh, you know what, here. It's no soft bed, but at least they'll have a flat spot to lay down. And you're welcome. A little torch to find it in the future. And so we set sail into the wild blue yonder. I actually want to go back around this dark forest because I don't want to be too far from spawn, which we are definitely at risk of doing at this point. So we actually are going to pit stop here. I've got a few goals this episode. I'd like to get our initial build location found, obviously. I promise you we won't end this one without building some kind of more permanent area. Maybe get some iron tools. It's not necessarily a must, but again, we should get through some of this early game grind so we can make some more interesting builds. I don't actually think that we're gonna build an initial survival base or house. I'm thinking that I'm gonna treat myself like some kind of a nomad to a new town that we're building. It's still a work in progress and a plan that's in my head, and I don't fully know how I'm gonna realize it yet, but kind of crazy that someone just left all this leather and raw beef just laying here on the beach. Wow. I was waiting for these leaves to decay so I could get some more saplings, and I left one log. That's alright. It meant that we could find all that beef and leather laying on the beach here, so it was pretty useful. While we're out here adventuring across the lands, it would be pretty useful if we could grab some bamboo. Pretty partial to building with scaffolding, so I think I see a piece. Oh, melons. I've never built in a jungle biome. Could be a cool build at some point. Maybe do some Aztec-inspired building. See? It's kind of a cool little grove here. Oh, cocoa beans? I think those are actually useful. Probably should grab some of that. Vines. Lots of useful stuff in the jungle. But yeah, I like this cove. Oh, it looks like there's like an underwater cave or something maybe going on there too. It's a pretty neat little spot. It's funny all the interesting world generation you just randomly run to when you actually move across the lands like this. Sometimes it's just good to stop and smell the melons. I think we'll do a little erosion to the beach here because my initial builds, I always forget sand and can never put windows in them. And then, time goes by and before you know it, you look back and none of your structures have windows. So we'll get some sand so that from the get, we're putting windows in. Now watch. I'll forget to put windows in still, and you can all point it out in the comments. Am I not turtle enough for the turtle? Turtle. I hope there are turtles near me. It's a lot of useful farms you can make with their eggs, but I don't have the ability to move or tame or do anything with them right now, so. I will say having this chest strapped to the back of my boat is pretty useful. It's not really something I've used in previous worlds, but it seems like there's a pretty decent waterway, but the continents around here are also pretty decent size, so it's actually pretty inducive to this kind of travel. probably being way too picky for this build location, but again, it just feels so permanent. It's weird when you're doing this, you know, as a let's play and for the world to see. And if I'm going to stick this out for the long haul, it needs to be somewhere that feels right. Oh, that's a cool tree. I mean, just look at that view. The epic mountains poking up. Maybe I need to explore this area a little bit. This might have some potential. Pretty decent flat ground. Pretty high rising mountains there. I do love that. Something about that tree. I mean, the dirt blocks derping above it kind of give it a little bit of a negative effect, I would say, but the vibe is definitely getting closer. I don't love savanna coloring for grass and stuff, but let's explore around here a little bit. Oh, we might as well grab these chests and this gold. Early game gold is also kind of handy. If we do end up going in the nether or something, it'll be good to be able to make a... I'm an idiot. Oh, jeez. Why did that mine so fast? Oh, jeez. Total noob. Got a shovel of mending. Ooh, a fortune hoe. It's actually pretty useful for doubling our seeds and stuff early on. It's gold, so it's not going to last long, but... Is this our thumbnail? Cheese! Or maybe it's through the ruin portal. Cheese! Is there a slab here somewhere? Oh, it's a slab. I can sit here. Cheese! Another day. The adventure continues. Definitely didn't just get scared by my shadow. Man, I keep looking over this thing. There's probably some potential here. I'm not sure that I have the skill necessary to tame a piece of geography like this, but I just that flat top tree sitting on top of the cliff. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. Another beautiful moment. Just one solitary daisy sitting up on the hillside. If it's not a daisy, don't bother correcting me, please. You guys need to remind me in future episodes if I get away from just exploring the world, because just taking this boat for a little cruise across the ocean, nice beautiful sunny day, little scenic tour of the coves and the inlets, peaceful sound of the water splashing. There's just something about it. Minecraft just really has a way of making it feel like you're in a world. I mean, a lot of it probably has to do with the scale, because it really is just as reasonably as it can be. It's infinite, right? So it just always feels like there's more and there's something to be discovered. Thousands of hours of Minecraft and I still am just amazed all the time by some of the generation. I'm looking for a very specific combination here. I want some elevation and some mountains and hills in the backdrop, but I also don't want to have to excavate thousands of blocks of dirt. I'm not looking for a super flat area, but something that I can reasonably tame. I do like the vistas and the hillsides that are in this area, though. There might be some potential here. Let's backtrack a little. I want it to be near the open waters, but we might have to try some inlet rivers or streams or something. I'm telling you, we'll know it when we see it. It's going to be beautiful. The downside here is we've got all of our stuff in this boat. I guess we could make a second chest boat and do some like river hopping, but again, this could all dry up around the corner, so let's do it. Let's go inland a little bit here, a little more exploring. Also, I added the leaf resource pack. I totally forgot that these existed, and it does add a lot of texture to the area. Thought it was cool. It does look like a pretty decent plains biome up there. We'll still do the transfer, and then it might all be for not, but even getting our stuff that much closer will make it a lot easier when we have to actually do the trek back and forth to bring the stuff to the base. Being near a river is nice too. I hadn't really considered it, but everyone loves a good bridge build in Minecraft too, so might be worth sticking kind of close to one of these waterways. There's a forest there. We've got a plains biome. We've got some kind of verticality over there for a backdrop. Let's explore this area a little bit. This might have some potential. You're probably looking at a stunning cinematic sunrise drone shot across the majestic fields, but from my perspective, it's kind of hard to see anything. We're definitely gonna have to fix those if we make this home. I should probably make some kind of marker before I leave our boat with all of our stuff in it back here. Lots of cows and chickens. That's good. Nothing's worse than having to lead a cow 10,000 blocks to get your farm started. Lots of grass. Probably should punch some of this for some more seeds. Let's grab... Man. Can I... You like right... Oh, okay. If you shift and right click, it just opens the chest. That's good to know. That's everything we need for a little mini adventure here while we scope the area out. I know everyone builds in a plains biome, but it really does just save you so much effort cutting down the trees, and trust me, I will plant trees because I like a wooded area, but it allows me to strategically place them rather than having to deal with cutting around the vanilla generated ones. Oh geez, what do we got here? Some torches. We can grab some iron in this hole real quick. That was kind of a bust. Coal. I just noticed I have 2 stone picks halfway destroyed. There we go. It's good to light stuff up like that anyway if we do end up building in this area. There's definitely going to need to be some flattening. Even for a plains, it's pretty hilly through here. Which I don't mind, but we might have to smooth some of this out a little bit. Is that the ocean over there? Let's go check that out. My concept for this first little town is like a woodcutter village who exports wood across the ocean, so I'm thinking it would be nice to be attached to the ocean at some port, so we can build like docks and make a little boat with some logs on it or something, you know what I mean? I like to theme my villages around like a resource, so we'll probably do some kind of woodcutter village to start here because early game Minecraft wood is just an easily accessible resource, so it just makes that a little easier. And then we'll move to one of these. See, I was hoping to be more of a mountain. That might be enough of a mountain, so we have like a stone export. Maybe some kind of mineral town. You get the idea, I think. So here's my vision is that rather than building ourselves a starter house, I think we're just gonna live in the town inn in each of the towns. So the first town we'll build a tavern and then we'll live upstairs, I think. We'll see how it works out as we progress here, but too tall grass. I mean, there's a place for it, but it's not here. Obstructing my vision. It's kind of a cool little outcropping. If you have a clever name for this little mound feature here, put it down in the comments. It almost looks like a shark fin. Do you see that? Where it curves back on itself? Maybe rock jaws? I don't know. We'll work on it. Just gotta workshop a little bit. I don't hate this. This might have some potential. A little bit close to this wood line, I think. It's not exactly what I had in mind when I set out to find this spot, but the more I've pondered about it and the more I've considered how I want to approach each of these build locations, if we're going to build individual settlements and towns, it's not necessarily important that we have infinite room to expand, although this is actually a pretty good sized plain, so if we wanted to build some massive city here, it would totally be possible. And this could even just be like a wood outpost in the future if we want to manipulate the storyline a little bit. This is at least a big enough little bay here. Yeah, I think this can work. A nice little beach here. We'll probably build the docks a little further down the coastline here and like a little road going to the town. You wouldn't want all the industry coming right through the town, but a little bit of jungle off in the distance too, for some variety in the backdrop. We'll have to plug up these huge crevasses, but that's easily done, I think, as long as we throw some torches down there and cover it up. Well, I'm gonna run back to the boat, grab our resources, and we'll start planning out the first building. We might have to take a couple layers off of this dirt here. We're gonna have to gather some wood, gather some more stone, and we'll start work on the tavern. I'm thinking Greg's Tavern. Oh yeah, we got cows, got baby cows, we got sheeps. There's gotta be some chicken. Well, we saw some chickens over by the boat anyway, so. Pigs. This is gonna work. I'm also anxious to get our bed placed. Whoa, I didn't notice this one I walked by before. Did I walk right around this? This is a little bit of a bigger hole. We'll probably hop down in there, grab some minerals once we get some chests and I get our items and stuff sorted. Oh, jeez. I think there's something we can work with here. I like it. It's like a destroyed cliff. Like some kind of past war destroyed the terrain. Like just blew giant holes in it. It's cool. Maybe we want to move the town over some so that we can get some of this loaded in the background. I do like these mountains and hills. We may wrap the town around a little bit here. We'll play with it. We'll play with it. We'll have to plant more trees because we won't be next to the forest, but that's not too big of a deal. And the ground in the middle there was a little bit more rocky and hilly in terrain, but where did we park our boat? You know, I almost put a pillar with some torches, but of course I did not. So I guess we're sleeping in the field again. Man, I think I remember climbing right up into the plains. Dude, where's your boat? This isn't where I parked my boat. Nah, that's too far. We would have remembered crossing 2 bodies of water. I don't necessarily care as much about the stone and stuff, but we definitely need those dark oak saplings, so it's worth the little searching party here. Ah! Thank the chickens. Thank you. So what's the most important items here? Not necessarily an egg. Iron, our first pick for sure. Torches, it's only 2 torches. We can make more torches. It's probably not worth the inventory slot. Don't really want to make 2 trips. We don't need a crafting table that handy. Sand, we don't want to dig up our beaches. Bamboo to build our scaffolding. I feel like, see, the problem is it's gold. So they're going to delete themselves super fast, and we can't repair them because they're enchanted. We'll bring the fortune one just to help our early farm. A mending shovel is kind of useless. You don't get any experience from this stuff. Iron nuggets is just iron. Mushrooms, melons, fences, we can make more. Oak saplings, we're going to need to get a forest started. Seeds, food, oak planks. Okay, we actually did pretty decent there in terms of inventory. I'll probably cut this all out because who wants to hear me talk about inventory management? Of course, the rain. This really does look like a battlefield, the way the land is all scarred around here. Is there such thing as like a destroyed plains? I guess this is just part of the new generation, but back in the before times, when the machines took over the earth, the only way to destroy them was to destroy energy itself. We put ourselves back in the Stone Age, but we were victorious. It's gonna make it a little more difficult to scout out our perfect build location when we can only have a visibility of about 30 blocks. Definitely want Rockjaw Mountain in view. I wish this beach was a little less sand. Oh no, what is this? That's alright, we can cover that up. We're gonna have to dig out a lot of this sand, unfortunately. But this is it, I think. Right on the edge here. Got our cool trees in the distance. We're still next to the cove. I wish I could see a little bit. This isn't a thunderstorm, right? We can't sleep through this. Alright, we don't want the tavern too close to the shoreline. But we also want a little bit of distance. I think right here, and I would say probably the same elevation as this tree. So I think this is our current home. Didn't I pair our crafting table up? Oh no, we decided to take the boat. And you know we didn't get? Spruce wood. That's probably going to come back to bite us. I'm sure that there's some spruce wood around here somewhere. It's not much, but it's home. Well, now that our survival base is complete, I'll see you guys in episode 3. Nah, just kidding. Respawn point set. This is probably excessive, but I really don't want a creeper to walk up and blow up our chest with all of our belongings in it, so let's build a quick little perimeter here. It's important to keep the stove close to your bed when you're surviving like this for warmth. I'm going to do some terraforming, probably actually do some quick little caving in some of these crevasses, and then check back in. If you didn't know about this, a really good way to get in and out of like fenced-in pens like this is throw a carpet on top, and you can actually make the jump just standard walking into it, but mobs won't, so it doesn't always look the prettiest, but if you color the wool to match your aesthetic of the area, it's a really good way to get in and out without needing fence gates and stuff like that. It's a decent looking cave entrance. Let's see if we can find some iron. Oh, it goes down quite a ways. Oh my. Is that deep slate? Whoa. Wasn't necessarily my goal here to go that deep, but let's see how this generation is. This could be fairly convenient. Oh, a little bit of a downside to the third-person model here. I can't see anything as the stupid arrow. Where did that come from? Oh, down below it looks like, based on... Oh yeah, I see him. I just barely saw his head there. This is precarious. How can we manage this? Oh, you know what? We'll just... Just don't give him the angle. There we go. He'll probably get smart and go around now, but... Oh, he's trying. Is that more iron? Yeah. I see you. Oh, I see you. The radiation from the energy wars left these fleshless creatures, these petrified zombies, to taunt us. We thought they would starve, but it appears their energy is regenerated by the darkness. The sun is the only thing that keeps us protected. I don't think I'm feeling super brave to go down there and actually face some of these guys, but we can explore a little bit here. Used to be light updates would make this stuff fall, but I guess that doesn't do that anymore. I didn't think we had gone that deep. I figured we'd be at the surface by now, but that's how these caves go. There's dirt. We gotta be close. Maybe not. Not surface dirt. Oh, now you know. Yeah, I don't think we'll drop down there. Our first encounter. Jeez. Gotta be careful around here. The ground just disappears in some of these spots. I didn't forget about that iron back there. I just like to torch the area around myself pretty good so I don't get surprised. Some lapis, some gold. Well, we'll need some initial lapis. Oh, that was close. We'll need some initial lapis to get our fortune enchant. But I like to save a lot of stuff like that until I have fortune, just because... Especially lapis these days, where it doesn't spawn in the super deep levels, it can be kind of a pain in the butt to get. So, all right, we're gonna get lost if we keep. I think we go back, grab that iron, and cut tail. What's up here? Oh, look at that, full circle. What do you think the odds that we'll ever find that iron again? Whoops. That's why you mine it when you're there, I guess. That's the fall. That's the drop. Did we go up? Well, we obviously didn't go this way. Is it 24 pieces of iron for a full set of armor? I guess we're gonna find out here pretty soon. We don't want to cover up this beautiful face anyway. Just look at it. Blue steel. Well, we've got iron for some tools and sword and maybe a couple pieces of armor, so I'll get us started. I am curious now, just because we started this. You know what though? We dropped down pretty far. Nah, I don't want to do that. We dropped down pretty far on that initial drop. If I try to dig out through the ground there, it could be 50 blocks. Yeah, look how far up it is. We would have been digging for a long time. Oh, yes. Nighttime, of course. It is beautiful in the moonlight. Oh, what's that? Oh, is that a village? Is that just one building? What is that? Probably now's not the time, huh? Whatever. We gotta check it out. I hear you. You almost looked mad for a sec there. It scared me. Worse than the fleshless beasts. The tall, dark ones who enter in and out of our dimension. Don't look them directly in the eyes. Oh yeah, look at this. This is not too bad. This terrain kind of sucked to get a villager across, but you guys need a little bit more lighting, I think. Whew. We may have cut that one a little close. It was almost our first death. These arrows. I really underestimated the third person effect. We'll just rest up, heat up, and hopefully we don't get sniped by a skeleton hiding in the shadows. And me just waiting for these arrows to despawn. This super ominous overhang they decided to build their village underneath. This arrow. Are you serious? Don't mind if I do. Ooh, potatoes. I like potatoes. Baked potatoes used to be a go-to for me for a food source. There's lots of ways to get food now in Minecraft, but you get like 3 potatoes per harvest. I don't necessarily even need the hay, but it seems silly not to take it. So we'll give our initial feeding for the cows a nice little boost. Whoa. Look at this thing. Holy crap. Is it worth going all the way down there for that? Some say we were foolish to build so close to where the bombs fell. I'd argue it's the last place the machines would want to return. Copper. I haven't been collecting it, and it is a block that I have generally avoided. But part of this series is me kind of broadening my horizons, and part of that probably means building with some new color palettes, so I will start messing around with some copper, I think. Plus, it's literally everywhere, so other than the effort it takes to smelt it down, it's pretty easy to get a hold of. Look at that. It's majestic. Another shark fin. I'm too easily distracted. I can tell already this episode's going to be like an hour long. I apologize in advance. I love this overhang with the pond underneath in the village. The terrain got a little wonky and the buildings are kind of up and down, but it's pretty cool. I'm getting like Legend of Zelda fairy vibes, like build a little stage over there with a fairy fountain in it. Pretty cool. Fix our respawn point. Pro tip. You're gonna go on an adventure and you ended up clicking a bed. Lots of hay. Okay, we burned through a lot of torches, but we also had a decent haul. 27 iron, that's a good start. We'll throw a couple of those in there, make the rest into torches. Take this ugly armor off. I like to live dangerously. All right, we got a decent little initial burst of some materials here. We found a cool town, that's nice. I may sail the coastline on this side of the island a little bit more. Hopefully there's a village on the water. That'll be a lot easier to transport villagers, because we got to put villagers in our town, otherwise what's the point? But we got the iron and some stone. Tavern's going to be pretty simple. It's a small wood town. Their buildings are going to be pretty rudimentary. A lot of woods and stones. We could always come back and spruce the place up later with some fancier blocks, but we're taking this Let's Play slow. We're enjoying the views, and we're just doing what feels right in the moment. And what feels right is to wait for the sun to set so that I can sleep. Then we're gonna go cut down a massive area of the forest because we actually do need a lot of wood, and we need to find spruce. The next day we'll be focused on wood. Not a bad sunset next to the hill. I wish it set over the mountains, but I'll take that. The moon rising next to Rockjaw Mountain, name pending. Did I say gather wood? I meant plant our sugarcane, then gather wood. We are gonna need paper for our enchant table setup, and we also probably should pen some cows and start feeding them as well, because what is it, like 20 minutes between feeds on cows? If we want to start getting any kind of decent leather population going here, we should probably start that too. So I like to do my sugarcane on the water. We'll dress it up later to look prettier, but this is a decent little method. You can slab over the top layer of water and still plant sugarcane next to it so that when you punch it, it doesn't fall into the water. Well, you'll see here in a second. We'll tuck this in the corner too, so it's not obtrusive to our eyeballs. A big mass of sugarcane isn't exactly the most appealing thing. On my old survival servers, I always used to just plant sugarcane on each block around the coastlines, and you just have a huge ring of sugarcane, but we'll try to keep things a little more neat and tidy here. Going through our fish like crazy, all this sprinting. We want to be pretty close to our house because... So this is it. This is the whole method. We'll get some dirt, and we just need one block of water in between, right? So a little of that. A little of that. You build up these dirt lines. Yeah, you get the point. You do rows of sugarcane, and then we'll throw down slabs in between them so that when we punch the sugarcane, it doesn't fall into the water. We'll make some kind of sugarcane farm eventually. When we get our elytra and start flying around and using rockets, we'll need a lot more than this, but if we just harvest this a few times, it'll give us enough paper to make the books for our enchanting table, so that's really all that matters right now. There you go. Decent little start for that. Alright. We messed up. We're gonna go back to the house and get some stone and make a bunch of axes. Then we're gonna go deforest something over there. We're looking for mostly oak wood because that's what the walls will be made out of, but I would like spruce for the accent pieces, so we do still need to find some spruce trees. That probably seems excessive, but stone axes don't go very far. Remember when I said I needed spruce wood? Well, it turns out this is the most anti-spruce wood world I have ever been a part of in Minecraft. I had to go on an actual entire other adventure just to find some spruce trees at the top of a mountain. I also did not press the record button on OBS, so you get to see the cinematic version without any of my first-person gameplay or audio. We sailed past a village on the ocean, which will be useful for getting villagers here, because that town across the plains is probably going to be a nightmare to get villagers here from. We found a beautiful cherry blossom biome. We climbed a mountain. We cut down some trees. We rested and enjoyed the scenery. And then we came home. We also liked the video and subscribed to the channel. Oh no, wait, that was you. Thanks. We've journeyed, we've gathered, and now we build. This episode is gonna be an absolute nightmare to edit. That is my cross to bear. I don't think I could sleep tonight if we went another entire episode without building something. And so, first things first, let's clear some ground. We've got to pick a decent elevation here where the ground is so inconsistently leveled. I'm looking here and I'm seeing 3 levels of dirt, so I think if we go down to that level, most of this other stuff will flatten out pretty good to that. And it still gives us a decent little step down towards the beach for a pathway to a dock or something, so let's get rolling. It's time to dig. Okay, this will do. It's not perfect. It's definitely gonna need some more cleanup, obviously, in the area. We'll flatten out some of these more raised areas and clean up the, like this little indent right here, obviously should be more smoothed out, but we've got a platform here and I really just want to get this building built in this episode, so good enough will not get in the way of perfect. I mean, or perfect, or you get it. First we're gonna go cut down that tree though, because I don't know that we have quite enough spruce. Okay, so I haven't like pre-built this in creative or anything, but I know the elements that I want it to have, and the way that I'm envisioning this thing, I think I need to build it from the inside out, if that makes sense. So I'm actually gonna place kind of some placeholder blocks. That way I know internally to the tavern, I'll have the space that I want. So I want the front door to the tavern to be like right here, looking at the water, right? Probably a single door on the tavern, so a 3-wide entryway. You can play with that as you want. You step in, here's the floor of your tavern. It's gonna be narrow, might be easier to place some placeholder benches. So what I'm picturing is benches with tables on this side of the bar. Probably just 2. I mean, this is a really small town, so this will be a very small tavern. Then you'll have an aisleway to walk around the bar. You'll have 2 stools at the bar, I think, just 2. Is this enough room? So there has to be a staircase going up here. It's the kind of crutch of this thing, because there's going to be rooms upstairs at the tavern for people to stay in. So if the benches are here, the bar is here, the bartender will stand here, then there's a wall behind the bartender. The bartender's here, benches, oh I messed that up already. Benches, this is the bar right here. This is where the bartender stands, and then the next block is a wall. This is a wall. Bartender, bar, stools, bar seats, so this is your exterior wall here. Right, does that make sense? You're gonna have windows between the benches? Does that make sense? Yeah, probably between the benches we'll have windows. So that, you know, if you're sitting, having your morning beverage, whatever that might be for you, you can peek out the window. Don't worry, we'll replace these solid blocks, but this is all just kind of placeholder so that I don't build this thing too small and cram myself. And then there's going to be actually a cellar here, and that's what we're going to use as our storage for now. And that's a little too narrow, I think. Yeah, I think that's it right there. So you'll have a little staircase here that kind of goes down into the wine cellar, which is going to be our storage for now. Might be a little bit annoying to have to go in this building and go down here, but I think it's kind of a cool way to have us living in the tavern and still have easy access to most of our materials. At least a good place to organize them for the long-term stuff that we're not using constantly. Plus Greg has given me a pretty good discount on the room for helping him actually build out this place, so we're gonna want to be 1 below the floor here, so probably this next landing is good. Where does this put us in terms of ceiling height? I'm thinking probably a doorway into the cellar. There's no code enforcement in this small village on the ocean, so I don't think we have to worry too much about ground support, but we probably shouldn't hollow out the entire area under the bar. So you can picture it, chests, some kind of organization down here, but I think this will be where our semi-permanent storages while we're working on this small coastal town, staying in Greg's Tavern. Okay, I don't know if I'm giving you guys a good vision here, but this is the gist. The rooms are going to be really small, so you're going to go up to effectively a hallway, and then there's just going to be 2 rooms up there. And Greg might be renting us a room in the basement. That's to be determined as we work through this thing. It's going to be a mixture of cobblestone and stone as the foundation layer. Cobblestone will help us give us a good outline here, which will make it a lot easier to tell what the actual exterior wall of the building is supposed to be. So if this is a doorway, do we want the wall right against us, or do we want a space here? Well, let's see what this worked out to, actually. So I like to do exterior framing. Just gives a little bit of depth to the exterior of the building. I'm sure you've seen it on other Let's Plays, but does that work out? So here's the problem with forcing the benches into a window. Well, where's the back corner of the room? This bench is in the back corner of the room. Okay, we can make that work. What do we decide here? That this is going to be the exterior wall? I think so. I want it to feel like a really cramped, cozy tavern. Any blocks we can spare kind of expanding this thing outwards is going to help keep that feel. The rooms upstairs are going to be really tight, I think, but we can make it work. We also have to be careful with this staircase because it has to be at least 3 high inside of this building. So we don't want to be knocking our head on the staircase, and we don't want the stairs to have to go too far up into the back of the building. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh. Did this not work out for us? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You know what? This is probably for the better anyway, because I was actually pretty worried about that staircase. 1, 2, 3. So we'll just extend this wall out some. That'll give us a double wall for the bar, which will make it a lot easier to put like the barrels for the bar taps and stuff in. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. We can make this work. We could also do some kind of back patio. Does that work? If this is an exterior wall, we go down, that only leaves us a little 2 block. You could throw some benches back. That's what we'll do. We'll make the back kind of an overhang patio, so that way we can kind of keep the interior cozy and tight, but also give ourselves a little room. Even potentially upstairs we'll have a little room. So anyway, that's the vision. Let's make some progress. Greg's Tavern. I don't know if we'll get all the detailing done this episode, but the frame will be up, and we'll be able to take a seat at the bar, and maybe even sleep one of these nights in an actual structure. Let's get building. Can't believe we pulled it off. Greg's Tavern, 100% complete. I think the time-lapse might have cut off there somewhere at the end, but let me just give you a quick tour, show you what it looks like. Just walk around here. Oh, that's weird. I must have missed. That's alright, we'll just close that for now. That's really straight. You know, I'm actually gonna finish that later. But the upstairs, okay. Yeah, I didn't get it done. I wasn't sure how long to let that bit go, but yeah, I didn't get it done. This is already the mother of all episodes, I'm sure. And I really wanted to get this build done, but hopefully we're at least far enough that you can see the potential. It's got a lot of detailing left to do. It's got a lot of color palette decisions to make. I want to add some gradient to the walls. There's obviously still a lot of oak wood. I'm pretty happy with the structure of the bar. I don't like this at all. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't know why I thought this would look good. I gotta figure this corner out. I wanted to put taps on the barrels, but I definitely should have spaced this wall out more. Because if I put taps on the front of these barrels with like tripwire hooks, it's gonna be just inside of the bartender, so pretend this is a nice 2D tap that he can easily squeeze through. I nailed this first try. The door opens the right way that I wanted it to, so there's that. We can still have a nice oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We can still have a nice coffee here and read our morning paper and Okay, I guess I don't... Oh, it's because I can eat the fish. Oh, I don't know if I even mentioned this, actually. I have a mod that allows me to sit on stairs and slabs, which, you know, gameplay-wise has no effect, but it lets me do cool stuff like this. Here it is. The frame, the shell, the inspiration, the initial crack at Greg's Tavern. Luckily, he's going to let me stay here for free while I continue to fix up the place and work on the neighborhood around here. You get the idea. I think you can see where it's going to be. Roof's going to be slabs, I think. It's already way bigger than I wanted it to be. I'm going to knock these down so it'll be two-tiered, so at least from the side profile it'll be a little thinner. This back wall jetting out, I really didn't predict that, so we're going to have to figure something out to cover that up a little bit. But yeah, we just ran out of time. We're deep on this one, and I've got hours and hours of editing ahead of me, but this is the initial run at it. The concept is here, so next episode we'll refine it. I can promise this much: we'll get the frame done, and we'll get moved into some kind of settlement in here. We'll get our stuff put in here, but we just can't get it done today. But hey, you've got something to look forward to in episode 3. Greg's Tavern. I want to do something on this back wall here too. It's just like wasted space. Probably should put some more booths or something. But yeah, you got your little staircase to your cellar, you've got your bar, and then upstairs you've got 2 rooms. Me and Greg, I think, are going to sleep in the basement, and then these rooms will be for rent. Yeah. And remember when I got that sand? I think it was episode 1, or was it earlier in this episode? Wow, we're so deep now, I can't even remember. Yeah, I didn't put the windows in yet. As predicted, I wouldn't. That's alright, we'll get there. Whew. What a journey. What a start, kind of. It's a slow ramp in this new Let's Play survival world. Well, I gotta go inside and sit down at the bar and record the intro to this video. And probably talk a little bit about what happened during the journey. But if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good one.